Hi everyone. I need to do a slight adjustment on the lighting. Bear with me. There we go. I think that's good. Let me know if it's not. Let's try, oops, wrong thing. That's better. Hello, hello. As you're coming on, please say hi to me and let me know that you can see me, that you can hear me, and that I haven't gone live for like 6 weeks. It's wild. I'm rusty. Hi, Mom. You like to watch it? I know you do. I know you do. That might be on Peacock. You can see. I'll look later for you. I'll look. I know that we were having a discussion. So I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to pop on, and I'm also trying to share it to my personal page. We're going to see if this will work. Since it's my page and it's my video, I don't know if I can do it. My usual assistant is not feeling well, so we are not going to make her do that. Tonight we're talking about embracing change. And not just, oh yay, change, but change in a way that is with grace and dignity, and how to navigate those waters. Change isn't always easy. It's actually usually not easy. And it's something that can be a little messy and a little convoluted, and there's grief involved. Absolutely. It's something that a lot of people fear. They fear change because we're creatures of comfort, right? Humans, creatures of comfort, and we enjoy being able to stay in our comfort zone. So as we're working through that, and in the midst of change, it can feel really just convoluted. And it comes in waves. The grief comes in waves. It's something that change is literally guaranteed. Everything is constantly evolving, constantly changing. You can see evolution, that is change, right? On a macro level. Change is something that a lot of people shy away from because it's uncomfortable, and it can be messy, and it can be scary, and we just want to be a turtle and go into our shells. But when you look at it from a more micro level, look at your soul. Your soul is evolving. That's the whole point of what we're doing here, is to evolve the soul. What can we see and prove from a soul level? The level of change on that small scale, that micro scale. So as I was writing this the other day, it kind of almost came out like a blog post, so I'll post it on my website. It just flowed. The channeling just flowed. So I knew that it was something that I wanted to talk about, that I needed to talk about, that this was something that needed to get out there into the world, and even on my little bit of a small scale, but it is a public page. So if you want to share this video, please feel free to do so. I would be ever so grateful that you can or choose to share this with others. As many people as it can reach as possible. That's always my intention. Whoever needs to see it will see it, and the more the merrier. So I'm going through a lot of change right now. I changed my Muggle job and some other stuff. So I'm continuously oscillating in and out of this like existential crisis of what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? What am I doing here? Why am I, what does my existence mean? Does it mean anything to anybody in the world? And it's exhausting. It's truly exhausting. Like I'm tired all the time. And it's not because it's physical. I can't even bring myself. I was really enjoying working out and I haven't worked out in almost 2 months. And then it's starting to show. So, but I'm also talking about mentally. It's mentally exhausting to go through a change of any kind, whether it's on a large scale or a small scale. Maybe you're changing your belief systems or your way of thinking, or it could be something like changing jobs or moving into or out of a relationship. Mentally, emotionally, psychologically, physically, mostly soulfully. It's just exhausting. You don't want to fall prey to pretending like everything's okay. Put on a happy face, everything's fine. What happens? You crash and burn. It's awful. It doesn't do anybody any good when you pretend like everything's okay. Why do we do that? Well, it's this conditioning that society has told us, especially women, that you need to always be positive, or if you're just more positive, it'll get easier for you. No. There is some truth to that. We'll talk about it later, but you need to be authentic. That's what's going to help. That authenticity. Because pretending that everything's okay, or just to focus on the positives, or just put on a happy face, that's toxic. That's actually part of our toxic culture that we have going on. It creates stress. Nobody likes to be stressed. Hi, Sue. Nobody likes that. Nobody wants that. Acknowledging the reality of the situation, rather than that put on a happy face, acknowledging that this is happening. This is a reality, and it's not pretty, and it's not fun, and I'm not okay. Asking for help. I posted about that earlier on the page, Facebook and Instagram. That is okay to ask for help. It's actually strength. We've been taught that it's some sort of weakness, but it isn't. That is enormous strength. Let go of that burden. Maybe there are others who are going through the same thing. Maybe there are others who this change affects them as well. So maybe a divorce and you have kids and it affects them. Or you're moving to another city and you're moving away from your family. So your family's letting you go and giving up that time with you and your existence right next to them. Now you're moving maybe a few hundred miles or a few thousand miles away. Even if it's for a really great job opportunity or whatever it is for you, there can be joy in a change, but there's also grief and sadness, and that's okay. That's okay. Embrace that. Whatever it is you're feeling, feel through it. This is the grief counselor in me coming out. Feel through that. Allow yourself to feel whatever it is you're feeling and then let it go. But these others that are involved, maybe this shared experience, hi Heather, maybe this shared experience helps you all, you both, you all, whoever it is, however many of you, get through what you're going through. Get through this change, this, whether it's a really good thing, like a new job opportunity that's going to be awesome for personal, professional growth, maybe even spiritual. It's something that aligns with your path and it's good. Maybe it's something devastating. Whatever it is, that shared experience. Those are the people you can ask for help. Like, hey, I know you're grieving too, but let's help each other here. Let's get each other through this. Or maybe you're inspiring somebody that you don't even know. Maybe it's a friend of a friend, or maybe it's a follower that you have, and you're trying to navigate this thing that we call life, the human experience. You can do it together. You can share and kind of shoulder that burden and that grief together. It's natural to want to stay in a situation regardless of the comfort level. So even though, hi Lacey, good to see you as well. I know it's been forever since I went live. I didn't feel like I had anything to talk about. I was like, does anybody really want to listen to me yammer on? I don't even know what to talk about. And then it just organically came to me to talk about change, because I've been going through changes over these last few months and not all of it's been pretty. So I figured if this is something that is flowing through me so authentically and so easily, it's probably something other people want to indulge in. So hi, I'm back, at least for now. So even though the comfort level thing, even though it might be comfortable to stay where we are, or maybe it's super uncomfortable to stay where we are, humans are creatures of habit. We're creatures of comfort. Even if it's something that's not a good situation, like maybe it's a bad job, or maybe it's a bad relationship, or maybe the house isn't ideal, whatever it is for you. Thank you. The earrings, I don't remember where I got them, but the necklace I got on, there's an artisan in Brazil on the website Novica, Novica, Novica. And it's, I forget what it's called. It's like Winged Glory or something like that. It's really beautiful. And this is black onyx. So of course, if it has angel wings, I want it. And my shirt I've had for years. I wasn't able to fit into it for a long time, and now I fit into it again. So I love wearing it. So thank you. Even if it's something that's not ideal, being creatures of comfort, we know what we're getting ourselves into, and therefore it's easier to stay stuck even in a less than ideal situation, because we know what we're getting, rather than having that courage to step forward and do something different, move, look for a new job, let go of a childhood friendship, even though it's not serving you in the adult life that you live now, because you've simply been friends for so long. It can be really difficult to change whatever it is, even if it's not ideal, because of that comfort. So stepping outside of the comfort zone can be scary, and therefore the universe comes along and shoves us. So I think I've shared before, when I was a small child, I don't know, mom helped, maybe I was 5 or 6, I was in swim lessons, and it was just a diving board, and though I love water, I am terrified of heights, terrified. And actually it's not the heights. I like looking out over, if I can hold onto a railing, but if I look straight down, I get vertigo, and I just I'll start swaying. Even it's weird, but it's my reality. It's how it is. Something I need to cleanse, apparently. So as I was a small child and standing at the edge of the diving board, and I was just taking a couple deep breaths, and the ladies in the water were lovely, and they're like, come on, it's okay, just go ahead and jump. All of a sudden, boom, I get shoved by this old battle axe who came and just shoved me into the water. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready. I don't remember if I belly flopped or what happened. The other ladies were there to catch me, but I just needed a couple more minutes to breathe, and apparently I wasn't going fast enough for that woman, and she shoved me. It was not a fun experience. I don't know how I didn't have a fear of the water after that. I have a fear of diving boards, but I don't have a fear of water. So that's kind of how the universe is. They're like, come on, it's okay. Come on, here's those signs. We're making you uncomfortable. You're getting bad customer after bad customer after bad customer, or your boss is on your case constantly, or you have toxic coworkers, whatever it is. And all of a sudden, but you're still not moving, and all of a sudden the universe just goes, boom, and shoves you into the next thing, whatever that is. So maybe the company downsizes or COVID hits, we have a plague. And all of a sudden, boom, you're in a new situation. So that's a tower moment, right? My favorite tarot card, but many people are afraid of it because it does look scary. I get it. But it's change, and it's time, and it's always time. Change is always timely. It might not feel that way because we're resisting the flow. Being in flow will help you to get through these changes. And yes, it can take a lot of practice and a lot of effort to step back and just breathe. But it's a lot easier. So the nudges, the signs, the feelings, the maybe mini tower moments, the universe starts removing people, things, experiences, whatever it is, from your life, or introducing new ones until you make that change. They give you plenty of time, unless there's something horrible going on. They give you plenty of time and nudges and a little more and a little more and a little more until you decide to take that step, or boom, you're gone. I loved my job that I had before this one. I enjoyed the job, loved the people. It was really hard for me to leave, and people in my personal life know that. However, when I made the decision that I wanted something a bit more challenging and just to grow professionally, and there wasn't any movement in the job that I had, then I found the job description. I looked once or twice within a couple of weeks and found a couple of jobs. I applied for both. I got interviewed for both. I got second interviewed for both. It's just that one moved a little faster than the other. And to me, that said that the universe was saying, this is the job for you. And I'm happy. I love it. I have a great boss. I have great coworkers. I am definitely more challenged in using my skill set a bit more. My talents are being recognized, and it's wonderful. Doesn't mean that I don't miss my people and love connecting with them and talking with them, but I decided to take that step and found a job description that was written for me, like point for point, like that's on my resume, that's on my resume, that's on my resume. I've done that, I've done that, I've done that. And I didn't tailor my resume to the job, which is what you're supposed to do. It was that my resume was already ready, and it's like the job description was tailored to me. So that is the universe's way of saying, oh, good, you moved on your own on a silver platter. Here you go. Like, how did I win this job? There had to be other people who were perfectly qualified, maybe even internal, I don't know. But it was clearly meant for me. If I hadn't done that, I think the universe would have shoved and shoved and shoved and shoved until I did move. So all of this happens, especially when it feels uncomfortable, all of this happens not as punishment. The universe is not trying to punish you. The universe loves you. So much like a parent or a teacher or a mentor pushes, think of it like a coach. Like if you played, I'm not sporty, but if you played sports, your coach was maybe pushing you to keep getting better, keep getting better, keep getting better at whatever it is you're doing, or fine-tuning your craft. Your art teacher, here, draw this kind of a line or use this kind of a brush, whatever it is, just to help you to grow, because that's why we're here. So it's all in the spirit. It's all in the spirit of, not sorry for the pun, all in the spirit of soul evolution, of growth, because that's what we're doing here. So going back to that teacher example, Earth is a school for our souls. Aw, thanks for the love. Hi, Beth. And as we're here in this school learning, or in the matrix, however you want to look at it, then we are just learning. And that's what this is all about. And as we have these experiences, you can see them as tests. the universe testing you. And it's not, again, to punish you, it's to see what you've learned. And if you need to, if you haven't properly learned the lesson, you can't advance. So in school, the whole point of kindergarten is to get to first grade. You lay a foundation. Everything you learn in first grade prepares you for second grade, prepares you on and on and on and on through your senior year, through 12th grade. And then if you are doing really well and it calls to you and you go on to a vocational school or to college, then you keep going, you keep building. So you have to have tests to measure what you have learned. And if you haven't learned it and you haven't built that foundation, you're not going to be ready for that next step, that next level. So none of this is a punishment. It's just to see if you're ready, if your soul has grown and evolved and is ready for that next level. So just know that it's all for your highest and greatest good and that your soul is always in control. So just trust, because your soul will always steer you in the right direction. This discomfort happens for a reason, and you might think, oh, I can put up with it, or I can do this, or I just need to work a little harder at this, and it's just not. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes you need to take a different approach, or if you have been complacent, maybe you do need to put forth a little more effort into whatever it is that you're doing. But if you're giving it your all and it's just not working for you, some things can only take you so far because that's all it's meant to do. It's only meant to take you so far. Gone are the days where you got a job and you worked there for 40 years and then you retired. That's not a thing. That's not how this works. Employers today want to see how you've leveled. If you've been in a job more than 5 years and you haven't done something different, they're going to start wondering what's wrong with you. Why haven't you been promoted? And if you say, well, it's because there's no opportunity, then they're going to say, oh, okay, no problem. But if you've been passed over for management, oh, hey, I've interviewed 6 or 7 times for a manager job and they just won't promote me. What does that say? You're probably not right for it. So they want to see growth. They want to see diversity. I used to be afraid of having the different jobs that I've had on my resume, and now I see that it's actually strength. I've had people look at my resume and go, wow, you've done some really awesome things. Like, yeah, I really have. And I've learned something from each job. And it's clear that I was pursued by a major university in this region for 2 different positions at the same time, and they were trying to get me either way, which I don't do that very often, so thank you for allowing me to humble brag a little bit. But that's how the world works now. They want to see diversity. They want to see, what can you do? What have you learned? How broad of a skill set do you have? And your soul works the same way. If you have the same experience over and over and over, life's going to feel mundane. Life's going to feel unfulfilling. Like, what am I even doing here? Enter existential crisis. However, the whole point of being here is to experience things. Experience different things. You don't want vanilla. Vanilla ice cream is great. Vanilla is the base for most other things. You need that. But if you don't have something a little bit different every once in a while, it's going to get boring. So, maybe you have chocolate, or maybe you have Rocky Road, or maybe you have mint chocolate chip. Love mint chocolate chip. It's okay to have different experiences. It's okay to it's actually a great thing. Do something different. I worked in end of life for a few years. And though I didn't have the privilege of being at too many bedsides at the end of life, personally, I've had grandparents live a long time. And I've sat and talked with people who have lived a long time. And reading other grief stuff, because I'm morbid and I love following that, those experiences. The thing that people regret the most in life is what they didn't do. Very few people regret what they did do. But it's more of the, I didn't get to experience this, or I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have traveled more. I wish I would have worked less and been home more for my family. I wish I would have done this or that. That's what you hear, that they didn't do all the things that they wanted to do. They didn't have the experiences they wanted to have. And that's not a life, that's a quantity of life, not a quality of life. So these experiences are why we're here. And if it's not working, there's a reason. Don't beat yourself up over it. Avoiding discomfort is completely understandable, but it's the universe's way of answering that, give me a sign. Give me a sign. If I'm on the right path, give me a sign. If I'm on the wrong path, give me a sign. And the universe is constantly like giving you little smoke signals here and there of which way to go. It's just our job to pay attention. So acknowledge it and make the change. If you don't, they're going to shove you off the diving board. They're going to give you that tower moment and get rid of it for you. And it's not, again, it's not a punishment, even though it might feel that way. There might be something devastating that happens. My God, look at natural disasters. Look at what's going on in Florida with that condo collapse. That's awful. That's huge stuff. I totally get that. But there are things that people don't ask for. There are things that happen that people are like, what did I do to deserve this? Why did this happen? And it, again, I cannot emphasize this enough. The universe is not punishing you. Not at all. There's a reason. There really is a reason. There's a reason and a season for everything, right? So when we get into flow, think about I'm sure that you've seen that rope meme where it's a hand and it's a rope. And the more that we try to hold on to something that's not working for us anymore, the hand's red, maybe even bleeding from just trying to hold on so much. And then as you let go, your hand is able to heal. So if you've seen that meme, it's a really great visual for hanging on. Sometimes you have to let go of the picture that you had for your life of what it should look like or could look like or would look like. The shoulda, woulda, couldas, right? And it's okay to have that picture, but maybe it was handed to you. Maybe it was programming from society or childhood or whatever that somebody else seems like they have that perfect life and, oh, I just want that. And that might not necessarily work for you. What seems like they have and that seems like you want might come at a cost of something that is actually for your highest and greatest good. So maybe somebody has that big fancy house or that Tesla or Jaguar convertible, or maybe they're always taking trips to the Caribbean. Right, Heather said social media isn't the best because there's so much comparison. Exactly. And where we can correct that is rather than using it as a comparison tool, we can step back and say, good for you. Good for you. We can use it as inspiration of, wow, maybe somebody who's posting gym selfies left and right and just like looks really great can be an inspiration for us to get up and do our best. Maybe we're not going to have, I don't know why, but my body will never have I'll never have a six pack. Ever, ever, ever. Even at my slimmest, trimmest, most active 20-year-old dance in the dance studio 4 days a week self, I did not have abs. My body will not do it. But I could still feel comfortable in my clothing and still know that I'm strong and I'm healthy and I feel good and I still look pretty darn good, even though I'm never gonna have a six-pack. My weight's gonna fluctuate, especially as I get older. 40 is rapidly approaching. I don't want to talk about it. But and I carried a child inside of my body. So it just is. And that's okay. Do I look at those models? Do I look at some of my friends and go, wow, I really wish I looked like that in a bikini? Absolutely. Do I look at some of my friends who own homes and go on fabulous vacations and think, damn, that would be nice? Absolutely. But the important thing is, and it takes training, it really does, is to step back and say, good for you. That's wonderful. Maybe they're able to work out so much because they don't have children and they always wanted children, and you have children. Hi, Anne-Marie. And maybe that is what they're missing. That's the trade. And they look at your life and your pictures and they say, wow, look how happy that family is. Look at them at the park, or look at the kindergarten graduation pictures. Look at the birthday pictures. Wow, she's so lucky that she has a kid. Yeah. Look at that fantastic trip to Puerto Rico. I'm not jealous of your pictures, Heather. I live vicariously through you. It was great. And you look like you had such an amazing time. So that is absolutely true about the comparisons. But it doesn't have to be that way. Feel through it. You know, there are times that I get a little bit triggered and I get a little bit jealous. I'm like, seriously? Why can't I have that? Well, it's not that I can't. It's just not right now. It's that whole divine plan thing, divine timing. And I used to get so triggered and so annoyed by, well, when's it going to be my turn? What time? When's it going to be time? Absolutely. It was awful. And I still get like that sometimes. The important thing is to feel through it and to allow yourself to feel whatever it is you're feeling, and then process it, let it go, and remain in gratitude, because the universe responds to our vibe. And when we put out the vibe of, I'm happy for you, because it's the pie analogy. The pie, so good, I'm so glad. The pie analogy. So you have a chocolate pie, and just because somebody else wants a piece of chocolate pie doesn't mean your piece is going to be smaller. Bake more pie. That's how the universe works. There's always ingredients. There's always an oven. There's always time. Bake more pie. There's room for everybody at the table. And there's enough food for everybody to have everything that they want. That's how the universe works. That's what billionaires do. They don't believe. They believe that they're worthy. They believe that there's more than enough for them. They believe that they can have it. Did you hear what I said? What's the common denominator in all of that? They believe. Believe. They know. Like, yes, they are so in their solar plexus chakra that they know. They know. And that's how the universe works. The universe responds to our vibration. So if we're resisting whatever it is, if we're resisting this change, the universe is going to feel that vibration, and they're going to say, oh, you're resisting this change. Oh, so this great job over here that you're going to have the opportunity to apply for, or the opportunity to have everything that you've been asking for, a better job with better pay, better hours, better work-life balance, time off, benefits, whatever it is, better use of your skills. You don't want that? Okay, we're going to keep it from you. Because that's all it hears is, no, 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 no. Need my tea. So the universe responds to our vibration. And if we're in that lack, if we're in comparison, if we're in jealousy, if we are in any of that, that's all the universe hears. So instead, get into good for you, happy for what I have, happy for me. Tea. Been drinking a lot of tea lately. I don't know. In a mood, I guess. All right, so sometimes we have to let go of that picture of what we think life should, would, could look like. That whole comparison thing. Or maybe it's the picture that we were programmed as children of this is what life should be like. This is what life should look like. There's validity and truth, but there's also a grain or a margarita rim sometimes of salt that you have to take with that, because one is generational and things change from generation to generation to generation. My parents' generation could go and buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house for like 20 grand and just buy it. Have you seen interest rates? Do you know what the market's like out there right now? It's not the same, especially in a post 9/11 world. It is just not the same. Our existence is not the same. So you hear about these things, or even your grandparents might say, oh, simpler times, blah, blah, blah. Gone are, I don't know anybody in my personal life. I'm trying to think right now. I don't know anybody off the top of my head that can survive. A family of 4 can survive on 1 income. It just doesn't happen. It's not the reality of things, especially with student loan debt. Don't even get me started on that. I was looking at grad school today and I'm like, I really want it. And I know that I really have to have a master's to do what I want to do in life. Oh, I don't know if I want to take on that kind of debt. It's a story for another day. But my point is that picture that we have in our heads, we need to do a little bit of a reality check, a little bit of a gut check. Is it what you want? Or is it what you were told you should want? Is there truth in it? Like, yeah, I want to be happy, but it doesn't have to look like this. The thing is that you have the paintbrush. You get to choose. You get to paint that picture. Be like Bob Ross and, paint a happy little tree. No, I don't want to put it over here. I want to put it over here. This is where my soul guides me to put that tree. Getting outside of your comfort zone is what's key to embracing change. Ultimately, it is for your soul's growth and evolution, so just keep remembering that. This is for my highest and greatest good. This is for or when you're manifesting. We have a new moon tomorrow night. So as you're manifesting, for my highest and greatest good, for my highest and greatest good, make it a mantra, make it a chant. For my highest and greatest good, for my highest and greatest good. Because who wants to remain the same? That's not fun. If you just remain the same the whole time, there's no fun in that. The snake sheds its skin. Sorry for anyone who's adverse to snakes, but I've been feeling called to snakes lately, and Medusa energy. So I'm like, okay, there's medicine here. There's snake medicine here. And that's shedding of the old and embracing with the new. The snake will grow and outgrow its skin, so it's got to shimmy it off. And a lot of times you'll see, if you've ever seen, those of us who grew up in a country, God, I know what this looks like. But if you've ever seen old snake skin, it's kind of dull and a little ucky, but the new snake is beautiful and vibrant. So it's like you're coming out. Look at the caterpillar. Here's a little softer. The caterpillar becomes a butterfly. Caterpillars are cute, fuzzy little things, but butterflies are so beautiful too. So who wants to remain the same when you have an opportunity to grow and change and evolve and have this beautiful experience that you might not otherwise have if you don't step outside of that comfort zone? The whole point is to continue improving. It's like lifting weights. If you lift 5-pound weights, 15 reps, 5-pound weights, eventually your muscles aren't gonna do anything. They might actually weaken. So you need to increase the reps or increase the weight depending on what you're trying to do. You need to change it up. You can't do My beautiful friend Deneen will tell you, you can't do the same exercises every day because eventually they stop working. Your body gets conditioned, your body gets used to them. So you have to like switch it up. That's why they say leg day. You don't do leg day every day. You wouldn't be able to walk, but you can't do leg day every day because then the benefits, you're not going to see them. So what is this school teaching us? This earth, this experience. Each year we build that foundation of learning from one year to the next. That first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, etc. No one wanted to be held back. Not that there was anything wrong with that. If you're not ready, you're not ready, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be a linear timeline. The universe actually doesn't work in a linear time. That's an earth thing, a man-made construct. But if it's for the student's best interest to hold back because, oh, you're not ready for that next step, that next level, that next challenge, that's okay. We're going to keep you here. So looking at the whole rejection is God's protection, if you've ever heard that. If you don't get that job, or if you don't have the winning bid on that house, or something falls through, or that you don't get called for that second, third date, there's a reason. And though it might be disappointing, like, oh, that sucks. I thought we really hit it off, or man, I thought I nailed that interview. There's a reason. It's not gonna work. I actually interviewed for a different job at the university I work at now, right before COVID hit. And I'm sure it would have been a great job. But a year later, I received a job that is a great job, making more money. I'm like, oh, that's probably why. And it gave me another year with my coworkers that I love so much. And job security, because I'm so grateful to have had a job during the pandemic that could have been really scary. And I know people who lost their jobs. So just think of that whole rejection as protection thing. So if you're being held back, there's a reason. So try to remember that too, as we're doing this whole embracing change with grace thing. Part of grace is most likely my favorite word ever. Amazing Grace is my favorite hymn. I have it tattooed on my body because it's my favorite. Also found out at my grandma Carolyn's funeral that it was her favorite, which was a bittersweet moment to find out that it was her favorite at that time and didn't know it before then. But grace, it just gives me such peace. Heather said I had an interview a few weeks ago and got a horrible gut feeling. I had to tell them I was no longer interested. That was a shoulder tap, wasn't it? That was the universe saying, good job practicing your interviewing skills, but also good job listening to your gut, to your soul, saying, don't do this. Absolutely. If you go to look at a house or an apartment, or you're going to your first date or to an interview and you're not even sure you want to get out of the car, there's a reason. Absolutely. So even when we're being held back, it is for your highest and greatest good. So school, we build one year to another. In your job, most people want to build a skill set and move up because it's more fulfilling, or there's better pay, or whatever it might be. Prestige even. I mean, that's a little bit ego-based, but hey, we're in a human experience, right? So you might feel uncomfortable with the change, also because maybe you feel like you didn't have a choice. So going back to that, I didn't ask for this. Natural disaster. I didn't ask for this relationship to end. I didn't ask for my job to be eliminated and to be let go. So you feel like, hey, I didn't have a choice. And it can be really humbling. But again, divine plan, divine time. I heard it's always darkest before the dawn. And it's true. Sometimes you have to let go of that control of those expectations and surrender to the divine plan. Have an open heart, an open mind, open arms to allow miracles to come in. It's an illusion to feel like you don't have a choice. Hear me out. Hear me out. You do have a choice because you get to choose. You get to decide how you respond to a situation. So even though something really crappy might happen, something devastating might happen, it's how you handle it that matters. We can only control ourselves. We cannot control our external environment no matter what anybody says. It all is within you. How you respond is your vibration. And remember, the universe responds to that vibration. So our outside environment can be triggered. It can trigger us. We can be shocked by something, job loss, relationship ending, a natural disaster, etc. And we feel like we didn't deserve or cause what happened. We, as humans, we want to compartmentalize. We want to have an explanation, a logical something. And sure, that can be absolutely true. You didn't cause it. You didn't ask for it. You didn't deserve it. But the universe, again, is not punishing you. There's a lesson in this. Again, stay with me, I promise. It happened for a reason. It can be really difficult to see or accept it in the moment, in the throes of the situation, the grief. And I know, I've questioned things myself. So remember earlier what I said about pretending like everything is okay? So there's a difference between put on a happy face, just be more positive, it'll be great. Yeah, sit down, cheerleader. I know, not that there's anything wrong with cheerleaders, but like, calm down. Calm down. This is happening. This is my reality. This is what I'm experiencing right now. And that's valid. That is totally valid. You're allowed to do that. But this is the part that's different. So what's important here is that you focus on the actual good. What actually is the good? What's the lesson here? What is happening? So maybe everyone's safe. We lost our house in the hurricane, but we were able to get ourselves and the family pets and some things that were important to us out in time. We can rebuild a house. Maybe, let's see, focus on the good, everyone's safe. Things can be replaced, but you get to keep the memories. The things that we hold are things. They don't contain the memory. They help us remember that time. But honestly, you're going to remember what you're going to remember. It's the important things. You're going to remember how you felt. Was it Maya Angelou that said, people aren't going to remember what you said or what you did, but they'll remember how you made them feel? And how many times have you said that? Like, I don't even remember why I was mad about that, but I was mad. I don't remember exactly what she said, but my God, it pissed me off, or it made me sad, or it really hurt. Or on the opposite side, I don't even remember what we did that day, but man, was that a good day. Right? Yeah, me too, Heather. That's a great quote. It is. And it's so true. And in recent years, I've tried to make that a little more of a mantra, a way of life of how do I make someone feel? Mother Teresa said, let no one leave you. Something to the effect, here we go. Remember how it feels. Something to the, look, I'm sure if you look it up, I'm going to butcher it, but it's something to the effect of let no one come to you or leave you less than how they came to you. So let them leave you happier than when they arrived. Having bettered their life in some way simply because you smiled, you held a door open, you let someone go in front of you. At a restaurant a few weeks ago, I let an older woman with a cane go in front of me into the restroom, and she's like, no, I can wait. You were here first. I'm like, no, really, it's okay. Because she was struggling to stand. And she's like, I hurried. It's okay. You know, I was not in any kind of dire situation, but I could tell that the sooner she got back to her seat, the better it would be for her. And I was in no rush. So no problem. And if that restored her faith in humanity for the day, awesome. So let no one leave you sadder than they came to you. Something to that effect. Where was I? Oh, the actual good. Seeing the actual good in the situation. So everyone's safe. We have the memories with us. Things can be replaced, but the memories remain. I was reminded last week of I'm not a huge country music fan, but I respect the greats like Garth Brooks. I really like him. And I don't seek out his music daily or anything, but my ears don't bleed when his songs come on the radio. And my favorite Garth Brooks song is called The Dance. And I'm going to try not to cry. But it said, I could have given up what happened because I didn't want to go through the pain, but I would have missed the dance. So look up the lyrics. It's really good. It's a great song. So you can choose to look at it that way. Like, hey, if I didn't have this experience, I would have missed all the joy that there was in it as well. Learning and growing through the experience. It's a transition. It is. Change is just a transition. It's a state of being, from one state of being to another state of being. So like the phoenix, you will rise again. So if you've ever seen Harry Potter, and I know there are some things going on with J.K. Rowling and whatever she's doing with herself, but let's not negate, let's the dance on Harry Potter. It's great. It's culturally it's a classic. It's a fantastic story, fantastic movies, politics aside. So there's a really great scene in one of the first movies. It might be the first movie, but Harry is in Dumbledore's chamber, and Dumbledore has a phoenix. And the bird looks, you don't know it's a phoenix. The bird looks really sickly, and he's kind of like, what's wrong with your bird? And then all of a sudden, it just explodes into fire and reduces to ashes. And Harry's like, oh my gosh, what just happened? And then he said, it's okay, Harry, it's a phoenix. And then you see this little tiny baby bird come up through the ashes and like chirp, chirp. Oh, it's a phoenix. And he's like, God, it's about time. I thought that should have happened weeks ago. But the bird was hanging on for whatever reason and finally let go. And now it's reborn, and it's going to go through its cycle again. So think of this like the phoenix. Okay, everything's blowing up, but this needs to happen. We need to shed this skin. What values are you aligning or realigning with through this transition? What are you becoming more aware of in your life? What's really important here? When you're able to breathe and step back and ask yourself these questions. We all want to feel safe, totally natural. And change can make us feel not safe. It's just part of our human condition. We're biologically programmed to want to feel safe. So ask yourself, what's holding you back? Why are you afraid? What feels unsafe about the situation? Is it that gut check of something's not right here? Or is it just, I'm afraid to step out of my comfort zone? Where's the lesson in the experience? When fear and doubt enter your mind, acknowledge it. So feel through it and then let it go. Release it. Like, nope, you're not serving me. Bye-bye. You're heading towards a better and brighter future when you let go of that. So there's a famous quote that I love, and I had to look it up and type it out because I always mess it up. But it's, you must make the choice. It's the 3 C's. You must make the choice to take the chance, or your life will never change. You must make the choice to take the chance, or your life will never change. Where's the lesson and opportunity? What's that good, the actual good that can come from the situation? Okay, hey, I've been released from this job to go find something bigger, better, brighter, shinier, better pay, better hours, whatever it might be, a better opportunity. I've been released from this relationship so that I can find one that's a bit more fulfilling. Again, whatever it is for you. Maybe it's a better neighborhood of, hey, my landlord wants to, okay, this isn't happening. My landlord wants to sell the house and I have to go find a new one and I'm so not ready. I've lived here forever and I don't want to move, but I have to move. So maybe it allows you to find a place that's more affordable or bigger or own your own home at that point. Or maybe you get to completely up and relocate to a city that you've always loved and wanted to live in. There's something in there, I promise you. There's something in there. Maybe it's even just living more authentically or leveling up. It's a chance to, like, if you think of it like your computer, it's a chance to clear that cache or launder your life. Your soul. So how do you actually cope with the change when you're in the throes of it all? Even if you want the change, it can be a source of grief. So even if you want to change jobs, you're leaving behind a job that you love or a job that you at least like. Maybe people that you really get along with, a really comfortable environment. You know that you're getting that paycheck every, whatever your frequency is, week, every other week, every month. You know what's going on. So you can have frustration and anger and sorrow, sadness. You're still grieving a loss. There's still, even if you want that job or you want that house, you're still grieving the loss of what you had. And that's okay. Again, allow yourself to feel through it and then let it go. Even if you know it's the right thing to do. Maybe you left the job for a better opportunity, moved to a better neighborhood, left a relationship that wasn't fulfilling. It's okay. Allow yourself to grieve. Allow that. Give yourself that grace. Allow yourself to feel through it. You still have the right and need to process those emotions. Again, even if it's like, well, you're leaving me, or you're leaving the job, or you're the one that wanted to move, you're still allowed to feel a sense of grief, a sense of loss of what was and who you were. Honor yourself. Look back at your old self and give yourself a lot of credit for who you were then into who you are now. Like, man, I'm just not the same anymore. Well, that's the point. That is legitimately the point. I had a childhood friend who would tell me often, she used to tell me that, man, you went off to college and you're just a different person. Uh-huh. Yeah, I opened my eyes. What's wrong with you that you stay stuck? And we just didn't vibrationally align anymore. Every once in a while, hey, how you doing? Good. I can have a 5-minute conversation with her and know that nothing for her has changed in her life. She has not opened her worldview. She has not, like, I could say all the things. She would not be supportive of this. of this holistic stuff because she's very much an in the box thinker of what she was told religion should look like. So that's fine for her. It doesn't align with me. And I can still feel a little sad for her for not evolving. I feel sad for not having a relationship that's fulfilling, but it just is. That's the reality. That's me painting the picture. So your old self, how you've changed. You've no doubt learned some lessons, right? You may feel battle worn, a bit like the Nine of Wands. That's a wounded warrior card. He's like all bandaged up and like, all right, get knocked down 8, stand up 9. Here we go. Hi, Sarah. How are you? So, or sometimes you might feel more like Xena Warrior Princess or Valkyrie. And can you tell I watched Thor Ragnarok over the weekend? You might feel like WandaVision, Scarlet Witch. Wanting to escape into a fantasy. If you didn't watch WandaVision, you need to watch WandaVision. It is so good. And that is from someone who isn't a superhero nerd. I live with them, but and I enjoy them. But WandaVision was really just about grief. It was about processing grief, moving through grief. Fabulous. Highly recommend. But wanting to escape into a fantasy world where everything is perfect. Everything is exactly how you wanted it. It's that big shiny picture. Yay. Okay, just don't stay there. It's okay to visualize that and then let it go. Okay, this is what's actually going on. This is what I actually need to do. Absolutely. So find space to do that safely. Process it through as often as you need, as much as you need. Just do it safely. Journal, exercise, listen to music, meditate, Reiki, counseling, formal or informal. So whether you go to an actual therapist or you sit down with your best friend over coffee, whatever it is, read, do some rituals, get your crystals, get your candles, do some ceremonies with the moon, meditate or daydream. It's important to picture what you want your life to look like and not necessarily with a specific thing. So if what's changing is a relationship, rather than trying to force into that, wedge into that dream, the person that you, like their face that you want, have an energy of them. Just picture light. Don't allow yourself to get bogged down by the emotions, which is actually really freeing. Once you process those emotions and you stand in your power, it's incredibly freeing. As a child, I was often off in fantasy land. I was raised as an only child. So I found myself playing by myself a lot. There were other kids in the neighborhood and, you know, sometimes the weather wasn't great or they just weren't available or I actually just wanted time to myself. And that's okay because I could control the play. And there's a time for that. There's a time for this is how I want the play to go. And then there are times that you need to interact with others and allow their creativity to flow and to respond to each other, kind of bounce stuff off of each other. That's important too. But playing by myself was, or being off in a daydream was safe. It actually is safe. It was a safe place that I created in my mind. So it's healthy to be alone and alone with your thoughts. A lot of people are afraid of that, but let it happen. Again, safe space, wherever that is for you, safe space in your car, in your bedroom, in your bathtub, whatever it is for you. Just be alone and enjoy that company. Light some candles, turn on some soft music, or if it's rock and roll, whatever it is for you, do that for your soul. Enjoy your own company. Find out what you truly like and love about yourself. Incredibly empowering. Archangel Michael can help you cut any cords. So any cords to the past, any cords to past people, past experiences, past jobs, whatever it is, cut. Cords that are vital to your existence, to people that you love, will not be cut. It's only, I ask you to cut the cords to things that no longer positively serve me and let it go. It's like getting the cobwebs out of the house. Archangel Raphael will help with healing, any kind of healing, physical, emotional, social, or psychological, whatever it is. Healing relationships. This new moon, I'm going to talk about the new moon in a minute, is phenomenal for the relationships. Archangel Gabriel can help with communication and creativity. So if you need to communicate to somebody this change, or that there needs to be a change, whether it's your boss or your parent or a partner, or whatever it is, Archangel Gabriel can also help you find creative solutions, or in painting your picture. Archangel Jophiel can help you see the beauty in a situation. Archangel Metatron can help you identify and utilize your gifts. So if you're trying to figure out that you want to make a change and you're just not totally sure where your skill sets fit in, it can help you with that. So guilt and shame can come about. Things that we should or could do, or things that should or could have been, which usually stem from childhood programming and words from others. Disappointment, resentment, feelings of failure. Instead, step into compassion and love. Have compassion for yourself and for others. Love. Understanding. Look at any patterns that might have contributed to these negative emotions. So if you're always feeling, resisting change because you feel guilty, or there's some sort, or you're not getting your needs met because there's some sort of shame involved. Look at patterns. Have you been conditioned to feel this way when dealing with changes? Has somebody made you feel shameful or guilty, or wow, why can't you keep a job? Or man, another relationship failed. Wow, what's wrong with you? Or why do you always move? What's wrong with you? Why can't you just go somewhere and stay there? That's their own projection onto you. Chances are they're jealous that you have the bravery to do that. A lot of people have abandonment issues. People, like, if I say this, people will leave, or they won't love me, or the whole just rejection of, if I tell the truth, if I live authentically, if I live my truth, it won't be well received. It's none of their freaking business, right? This is your life. You get to choose. You get to decide. Don't allow that kind of abuse or neglect into your life. Stand in your power and say, no. No, you're not allowed to make me feel that way. No, you're not. We're stopping the discussion here. This is not up for discussion. Maybe it's something that it's not up for debate. I'm telling you what's going on. I'm living my truth. My authenticity is not up for debate. Spine straight, solar plexus shining. Yeah. I'm going to be doing, so I had put a poll up a while ago about shadow work, if anybody would be interested in that, and it was an overwhelming yes. So I'm going to be doing a class on that, so stay tuned. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do that, but coming up. And I wanted to leave you with something that I found when I was cleaning out my drives. It's the other serenity prayer. So the original serenity prayer, God grant me the strength to change the things I can and accept the things that I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference, or something to that effect. This is the other serenity prayer. Grant me, so you can say God, Goddess, Yahweh, Universe, Spirit, whatever it is, Source. Grant me the serenity to stop beating myself up for not doing things perfectly. The courage to forgive myself because I'm working on doing better. And the wisdom to know that you already love me just as I am. How beautiful is that? I'm going to read it again. Grant me the serenity to stop beating myself up for not doing things perfectly. The courage to forgive myself because I'm working on doing better. And the wisdom to know that you already love me just as I am. That is love, that is forgiveness, that is worthiness, all wrapped up in a nice little prayer, mantra, whatever you want to call it. I thought that was beautiful. I'll post that to the page when we're done. So beautiful. So if anybody has any questions or thoughts that you haven't already commented, please feel free to do so. Since I know that there's like a 10 or 15 second lag, I'm going to move into the new moon tomorrow night is in the sign of Cancer. So we are in Cancer season, hence the new moon is in Cancer. It'll happen, so if you're like New Yorkish time, which I am, then it's going to be like late Friday night. But if you're in London, then it's really early Saturday morning. So sometime over the night, Friday night into Saturday, is the new moon officially. We're in the energy now. But Cancer rules the home, family, and relationships. So this is a great, new moons are fantastic for manifesting and setting intentions and planting the seeds. So set intentions for maybe smoother relationships, healing or home and family. It's anything, really, anything that comes to mind. Visualize. So when you're manifesting, when you're setting these intentions and planting these seeds, it's important to visualize and feel as if what you're asking for is already in your reality. So set aside even just 10 minutes a day to commit to this visualization and feeling these intentions. So get out your crystals, work with them. Always moonstone, clear quartz, manifesting. So citrine brings in happiness and abundance. And if you want to use any kind of protection stone, so obsidian and black tourmaline are fabulous for that. Labradorite is my favorite. It's magic all the way around. Anything that you feel called to use, go for it. And then Mike Dooley is fabulous. He says he has a certain chair that he sits in and he just visualizes and feels whatever it is he's trying to manifest. So, if it's a new car, he sees himself driving that car, and down to what does the interior look like, and how does he feel when he's driving that car? Does he feel the breeze? Does he feel the smooth ride? Does he feel the heated seats? Whatever. Is he hearing the music coming out of the radio? Whatever, the sound of the engine, whatever it might be for you. I love that. I think it's so cool. And I try to remember that when I'm trying to manifest. And I think I need to do a better job, quite honestly. It just needs to happen. Does anybody want a card? I grabbed the Moonology deck by Yasmin, Boland, and I also grabbed the Butterfly for Life Changes Oracle that I don't know if it's still available or not. It's a Doreen Virtue, but it's just so beautiful. So if anybody wants a card, let me know. Happy to pull. And then, okay, Heather, which one? Or do you want both? One from each? I'll do that. I'm going to start with butterflies for you. You ready? Healing from the past. See that? I think that's perfect for you, my dear. There's a lot of yellow in this card, right? Yeah. Solar plexus. Healing from the past. Yeah, let it go. Bottom of the deck, new career. Coincidence? I think not. That's beautiful. Finances on top. Maybe do a little manifesting around that career, just saying. I'll do a moon card for everybody for this new moon in Cancer. If anyone else wants a card, let me know. Two jumped out. Let's see. Time to take time to breathe. The disseminating moon, which when the moon is full and then it goes back to a new moon. The disseminating moon is right after the full moon. So breathe, let it go. Conclusions are within reach, a full moon eclipse. We just had a full moon eclipse. How interesting. Last month. So breathe, conclusions are within reach. Yep. So we're coming into a new cycle. New moon makes sense to me. Healing from the past is the story of my life, and I'm waiting to hear on a job next week. So this isn't the job that made your gut go, right? If so, yay. Thank you all for the love. I appreciate that. Does anyone have any questions, thoughts, comments with kindness? Wow. I went well over an hour. Different one. Okay, good. Good. Well, hoping for you. Remember to set your intentions under the new moon. Whatever's for the highest and greatest good. Whatever's going to be best, but if it is what's best, it's another reason I knew that the job I got was right for me, because they offered me more than more than it was posted for, and two, more than it was what I was going to ask for. So it worked. More than I was making. Not like tens of thousands of dollars or anything, but enough. It was enough. Good. Solar plexus. Stand in that power. Heart manifesting. Awesome. Let me know. Thank you all, as always, so much for joining me tonight. Or if you're catching the replay, feel free to like, share, comment. And of course, as always, if you didn't feel comfortable asking a question or sharing something in the public comments, please feel free to message me directly. I get those often, and I do respond, because I'm a real person. And I just appreciate it. I appreciate everything that you guys you do, and the support and the love. And anytime I try to post several times a day on the page. I know algorithms are weird, so it doesn't always pop up. So if you want, you can go to the page and go into see first. So if you feel like you're missing out on the page, you can do that. Or just come to the page and check it out. So, and you can always share from the page too. Doesn't bother me. If you want to be part of the Willow Tree Healing Light Seekers group, I've been quiet in there, but I've been trying to kind of pick it back up again. So now that some of my changes have settled a little bit, a little more settled in my job. So feeling pretty good and ready to get back into it. Also, PSA, I am available for parties. I've already booked a few. And in the month of October, I know a lot of people want to do some Halloween-y type stuff, so I can only do so many around Halloween. So make sure you book me early if you want me at your party. I'm happy to do that. Or if you have any other kind of party, I've done a couple birthday parties and just other girls' nights activities. Doesn't have to be a girls' night, it can be guys' night, whatever. Birthday parties, getting a lot of messages for that. So make sure that you're, oh yes, I will keep everyone posted about the shadow work stuff. It is hugely important for healing to deal with our inner child and our shadow. The shadow is nothing to be afraid of. It's part of us. So you don't want to be afraid of yourself. So we need to embrace it and heal it and work on it. So it has something to teach us. It's arguably one of our best teachers is our shadow self. So I will do some planning around that as well. So anyway, if you want me for a party, and of course, if you want your own personal reading, you can book directly on my website, or you can message me. The only thing about my website is if you want a recorded reading, it makes you adhere to my available hours. And I'm available for recorded readings a lot more than what's posted on my website. A lot of that is just for physical stuff. So I can only do that on weekends because I work 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. So I don't mind coming home and doing a face-to-face or a recorded for you. So if you have a time in mind, like a Wednesday evening that you want, just message me directly. We'll make it happen. So PSA on that. Again, thank you so much for joining me, for liking. Everything always helps the algorithms, likes, comments, shares, whatever. Appreciate it so much. I hope that this was helpful for you in some way, and let me know if you have questions and if you have topics that you want to hear about. So just let me know. Talk soon. Take care.